the new Avatar: The Last Airbender show just came out on Netflix.
You're not thinking of leaving him.
Don't ask me any questions about it. I literally watch the original like every single year, and it's one of my favorite TV shows and comfort shows just to put on in the background when I'm doing stuff. I have all the collector's editions of the comics and some of the books as well. So you know, I'm a casual fan. Anyways, for this video, I decided to make Avatar: The Last Airbender inspired knits. For the first piece, I made an Earth Kingdom inspired top. I took a lot of inspiration from existing Chinese fashion and the fashion of the Earth Kingdom. Their outfits are generally boxy and flowy, so I really wanted my top to have that as well. In the end, I went with creating a crop top with an angled slit over the chest and a collar. I chose a teal and tan yarn, both of which I got from my local yarn store. As an outline, I used Petite Knit's slip-over pattern to make this top, so I won't give the exact measurements and stitch count, but if you're interested in this pattern, I'll leave a link down below. I first casted on my stitches to fit across the base of my neck and knit back and forth in the flat until I needed to shape for the armholes. To start that shaping, I made increases on the left and right sides, and once that covered my upper back, I started to work on the front panels. For the left panel, after I worked on the German short rows, I started adding make one left increases on both the right and wrong sides. This was to create the slant across the chest for that layered look. It's been a couple days and I just wanted to give an update on where I'm at with the top. This is what it looks like so far. I've finished the back of the top and the front part of it. So far this left side completely crosses over my chest, and I did try it on. I think I'm gonna do a few more rows to make the armholes a bit wider. And after I work on that portion, I'm gonna start doing the right side. I haven't completely decided what I want to do for the right side yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to attach it to the bottom, because essentially I'm going to join everything in the round, at least for this front part. And I'm not sure if I want this section here on the left side to increase enough to get all the way around to the right side and join in the round there, and then have the right side kind of underneath, or if I want to do the right side and then connect it with this bottom part. But so far I really like the color. I do wish that I chose a lighter weight of yarn. I think this is a bit thick, but we'll see how it turns out in the end. And even though it is a little bit thicker, it's a lot faster to knit up than if I chose like a fingering weight yarn. In this clip, I started working on the right panel of the top. I pretty much repeated the same steps as I did for the left-hand side, but this time I only did creases on the right side of the piece so the panel could lay under the left one. It's been a couple days since I last gave an update. This is currently where I'm at with the top. Let me back up a little bit so you guys can see it. But this is what it looks like. So I finished the right panel and I binded off some of the stitches at the end. And then the remaining stitches got put in the round with the rest of the body. And basically these stitches that I casted off will be put in the back here. Either I'll stitch it after the fact. I did think about knitting it as I went together with the left side, but I already bind it off at that point. So far just doing this top part, I haven't even finished using a full skein yet, so I'll definitely have enough yarn to complete this project. So after this clip, I had a bit of an Azula moment for a week and didn't film myself finishing the body of this top. You mainly just missed a lot of this. and me binding off part of the right panel and joining everything else in the round. Anyways, once my first therapy appointment was booked, I picked up stitches for the ribbing around the arm, bottom, and collar. So yesterday I finished my Earth Kingdom top, and this is what it looks like. I'll put in some footage of me trying it on. I'm honestly pretty happy with how the top turned out. I originally thought that the sides would be too big, but when I was continuously trying it on while I was still knitting it, it ended up being a good size. So I just didn't do any increases in the body and just made it straight, and it turned out really good. I think I said this in a previous clip, but I do wish that I used a slightly lighter weight yarn. I think this yarn is a little bit too thick, but that did make it easier to knit up, as I said. It made it a lot faster. There are a couple things with this top that I would change if I were to remake it. One of them being the collar. I would have extended the collar a bit further down. I feel like I made it too far back and it kind of looks strange. It feels like it needs to be pulled down a little bit more. That's something that I can go back and change, but honestly I'm too lazy to do that right now. So it's gonna look like this for a while, but I think for the future, or if you randomly decide to make this, I would extend the collar further down to probably like where you're, like right below your collarbones. The other thing I would change about this top is how I sewed the right and left panel together. You can kind of see the outline of where I sewed it. I don't know if you can see, but it's right there. And it's pretty obvious that it was sewn in these seam places when you're wearing it, and honestly, even when it's not being worn. I don't really know the best way to sew this otherwise. I guess I could have sewn it like on this edge here rather than like on the inside. But again, that's something that I can like go back and change if I really want to. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with how it turned out. Alright, for the next piece, I'm focused on the airbenders. I wanted to create something that captures the look of airbending, so I opted for a scarf using mohair, aiming for that light and airy feeling that mirrors the bending. I've also been seeing a lot of fluffy scarves, which I used as inspiration. I created a simple colorwork chart and tried a few different designs, but ended up using airbender tattoos as inspiration. Originally, I was going to knit this scarf, but since I wanted it to be reversible, I decided to go with crocheting it instead. For this project, I used blue and white yarn made up of an acrylic and mohair blend, along with a 4.5mm crochet hook. To kick things off, I crocheted a foundation chain of 38 stitches using the white mohair yarn. Then I worked back and forth for 4 rows using the same white yarn, setting the foundation for the colorwork. Once the base was set, it was time to incorporate the blue yarn following the colorwork chart. As I progressed, I simply switched colors according to the chart and cutting the yarn when necessary. From there, I continued to crochet back and forth, keeping an eye on the chart to maintain the pattern. Once I was happy with the length, I cut the blue yarn and continued with the white for 4 more rows. After the 4 rows were complete, I cut the yarn and pulled the end all the way through to finish. I'm currently at my parents' and don't have my normal like recording tripod set up, so I'm filming this on my computer, so I apologize for the really bad quality. But I wanted to show what the scarf ended up looking like, and this is what it looks like. I honestly want it to be longer, even though it's pretty long. I just didn't bring enough yarn with me back to my parents' house, and once I get back to my apartment, I'll probably cut some of this white edging off and then continue the pattern to make it a bit longer, because I ideally want it to like go all the way around my neck twice, and it only does that once with the amount of yarn that I have. But again, that is something I can go back and change once I get back to my apartment. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. I'm really sorry for the shitty outro. If you're interested in seeing waterbender or Fire Nation kind of inspired knits, let me know. I will make a part 2 to this video. Also, I never plugged my Instagram in my last video. If you're interested in following me on Instagram, I'll put the link down below. That's probably like the best place to keep up with me. I post the most on there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!